Welcome to round one at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series here at Ride Rock Creek Bike Park in Zirconia, North Carolina. Ride Rock Creek's well into its second year of operation. V2 of the Stampede racetrack has gone through significant changes by Nico and the trail crew. It's a fast track, there's lots of variety, including heavy compressions, chunky rock sections, fresh cut off camber, and lots of big air. We've got local legends in the men's elite field, Lucas Shaw and Christopher Grice. They'll battle with other World Cup heavy hitter Dakota Norton, Austin Dooley, and Ryan Pinkerton. Our women's field is stacked. We've got top talent, including the current junior world champ, Reese Van Leuven, the national champion, Kaylee Skelton, and World Cup elite Frida Ronning, who just came off a win 2 weeks ago at the Tennessee National. We've got a great show for you planned, so make sure you stick around to enjoy all the top racing action. Hey, down here at the bottom of the course at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series #1, just a little insight as to what you can expect on today's race course. Right out of the gate, you drop in and you have to make an immediate decision as a rider. You either hit the pocket berm on the outside, which will allow you to keep your momentum, or you stay tight. You'll see a lot of that on this course. There are a lot of options that are viable and fast, so it'll be a lot of rider preference. First rock garden is very rough, very technical, and then a big rock garden step down. If you're precise, it'll be clean and easy. SR Suntour has sponsored the Holeshot Award, so the fastest male and female to the first split will go home with an extra $500 in their pocket, regardless of where they finish the race, so that'll be exciting. In split #2, the course kind of changes a little bit. It becomes much more natural in feel. There's a lot of rock gardens, there's a lot of just chunky sections, and a couple sections of just really difficult, loamy, shelved out off camber, which will require riders to stay really focused on keeping the tires glued to the ground. We're definitely going to see the tape blown out there through some of the practices. We're definitely going to see the course getting blown out, so those will be really critical to save time and keep a clean line through there. At split 3, I think the riders will be taking a big breath. They know they just made it through a lot of technical sections. They'll know whether or not they're piecing together a really good run, and that's when the fingers come off the brakes. Split 3 is so fast, and there are massive gaps, jumps, and hits, and some really big compressions. The last section of the course, they're gonna come in off this step down behind me, hands off the brakes, wide open to this huge step up at the finish line. As soon as those tires hit the ground, they're gonna sprint, lay down the horsepower, cross that line, and see where they stack up.
I'm Will Washam, and I'm here with Sean Grizz McClendon. We're at the opening round of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series, and we're just minutes away from racing. This track here at Rock Creek has already delivered some epic moments with U.S. National Championships, but we've got some changes here for the riders today.
You're not joking, Will. The Rock Creek trail crew did a great job making some key adjustments, and this track is breaking down proper like. We're seeing some rare moon dust, the nice bomb holes developing. Riders are loving it, and it's going to be an exciting show.
And you can guarantee the trail crew here at Rock Creek will not be doing any maintenance this weekend. All of that positive degradation will play into the lines today on race day. So let's take a look at these seating results and go racing.
Well, this is our first look at the seating results from yesterday. And Grizz, it's no surprise, Kaylee Skelton is on top of the seating results sheet with a 4-second margin over second place, continuing the dominant form we've seen from her since that first national championship in 2021.
Yeah, Will, not surprised to see Kaylee up front, and she means business today. I spoke to her in the pits. She's trying to hit a 2:06 in her final run today. She's here to bring the smoke. And then we've also got the Oscar sisters out of the Pacific Northwest. Allie seated second. You know, she's been raising eyebrows. I am expecting a really good run out of Allie today, too. I'm excited to watch her.
Yeah, Taylor's been building her form as well. She had that podium performance at the Snowshoe World Cup last year, continuing to be on the rise. And speaking of world-class racing, Eris Van Leuven is bringing that world-class pedigree to this field, our 2023 Junior Women's World Champ, back on American soil after she took that win in Snowshoe in 2023.
That's all Eris knows here in the American East Coast.
But Frida Ronning wants to have something to say to all these young riders. She's lurking a little farther back on the results sheet. She had an issue in her seating run, but she's got more than 10 wins on U.S. soil in the past 8 years at Downhill Southeast and races like the Tennessee National. So let's jump to our hot seat run, which will be Frida Ronning. Grizz, it's Frida Ronning. She's out of Clinton, Tennessee, currently on the hot seat after that 6th place in seating. She's incredibly quick on U.S. soil. 3 Tennessee National wins to her name. This is our first look at the track here at Rock Creek with some new changes for this race.
Yeah, and I've already seen Frida take some interesting lines. Out of the gate, she went outside, inside. We'll see how many riders are going to pick that apart. She's looking great over that step-up jump there. That's given some riders in amateur categories a lot of trouble over the weekend.
It's our first look at the SR Suntour Holeshot split number 1. We've got cash from SR Suntour to the fastest rider through the first split, and that's eligible for any of the pro ladies or junior ladies.
Yeah, Frida looks like she's getting very nice and composed throughout her run. Let's see if the other riders, if they come out of the gate 100% or if they sort of build their run. I mean, Frida's looking great.
Yeah, she is, and she's going to be loving this section. It's a new section here for the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series, a new steep off-camber bit, and Frida just eats those up. She's got so much experience, 28 years old this year with a number of World Cup seasons racing under her belt, and she's not ready to let the young guns take this win just yet.
Well, I respect Frida in that competitive spirit.
She's still on the Union team. They're on different frames this year on that Trek downhill rig. We saw split number 2 pop up, so she was about 5 seconds off the pace that Skelton set yesterday. Oh, and look at her in the corners, Grizz. She is ripping.
Utilizing all the support those berms have to offer. Greasing, and that step down is a lot larger than it looks on camera, folks. We estimated it was about, what, 40 feet out, about 12 feet down, somewhere in that ballpark.
Oh, yeah, the builders here at Rock Creek love to stack up some dirt as Frida Ronning runs through the finish line at 2:11. So about 3 seconds off that pace we saw yesterday from Kaylee. So a great run right there from Frida, and actually faster than the time we saw from Aletha Osgaard. As we move into our top 3 with Eris Van Leuven from Commensal Leor. She put down a 2:16 yesterday. Grizz, you got to think conditions today are going to allow for a faster run from Eris.
You know, a lot of the riders were expecting to shave off a couple of seconds, and this is going to be all the pro women, all the pro men. Everyone was thinking they could shave off a second, 2 seconds. Let's see what Eris can do here.
Yeah, she already had an interesting lineup there, kind of went outside of that main rock garden. And this is a new little bit of track for this race as well. Eris up and over that cleanly.
I like how she got on the pedals as soon as she landed that gap jump. That's what and no wonder she's green at split 1. That's what we're talking about. These riders are going to be fighting for tenths of a second all day, and Eris here doing great work, riding real tighty here, keeping it clean and carrying good momentum. This is what it's going to take, and keeping her intensity at a 10 out of 10. I like what I'm seeing here.
Oh, yeah, and you can see she's up on the pedals again. It's a relatively short track from what she's used to, you know, these 2-minute tracks, so you've got to be wide open top to bottom.
And she's looking really comfortable on the steepest bit of the track there. Coming from New Zealand, I know the main difference for her was just the general pitch of these American tracks. They're not as steep as the Kiwi tracks, but she's lost a little time here at split too.
Yeah, 2 seconds back there on Frida Ronning. It's going to be tough to pull that kind of time back from here to the bottom. Not much track ahead of you. Some big moves, though. So an opportunity to have some good landings, build some momentum on all these backsides as she's over this long drop. A couple lines right there, Grizz. She kind of goes inside on that turn. Clean here as we jump back into this cable cam, and just a cool 40-foot step down. A little hard landing, though.
Yeah, she came up a little bit short right there. I wonder if she's maybe getting a little bit tight through her run. It's kind of tough to tell. You know, her pace is on and off, it looks like, and you just have to be on here at Rock Creek.
Yeah, she loves jumps. Eris Van Leuven throwing it sideways at the finish here at Rock Creek, and she'll go second place, so she'll be 1.5 back from that time of Frida Ronning. But I'd say a successful American campaign for her here before her World Cup season gets started as we move to Aletha Osgaard. Qualified yesterday, 2:13. And she's a rider that has been coming on strong, was on pace with Kaylee Skelton at the Tennessee National. Can she do it again today, Grizz?
Let's see. I see she went outside to inside on those first turns. And, you know, the Osgaard sisters, they're known for just maintaining a consistent pace. So let's see if this is going to work out for her. We'll see what the first split has to say.
Boosting that jump. I thought she was going to pull a toboggan right there. Had some hang time. And SR Suntour split, so she's just a little bit off the pace, 0.15 back. But, I mean, everybody is cooking at that top split. Times are so tight there. They're into the meat of the track now, where you can really have interesting lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, she just took a heavy line inside over that log. We haven't seen that yet.
Well, the young 16-year-old from Selah, Washington, diving into the steepest bits of the track. Looks smooth right there. Just kind of letting that rear wheel glide around on this rapidly deteriorating surface.
Yeah, it is unusual to see the East Coast so dusty this early in the season, but...
And she's on pace right there, split number 2. So just a couple tenths of a second back. Osgard looking to dethrone Frida Ronning, who is currently sitting on the hot seat. This the inaugural Monster Energy Pro downhill race here at Ride Rock Creek in North Carolina.
Allie just maintaining. This is it. They have consistency to their riding, and this is what we're seeing, Will. Nothing crazy spectacular, but very clean, tidy riding. She's hitting, looks like she's hitting all of her marks.
Yeah, she looks like she has a ton of energy as well. It's just a couple tenths back at that second split, cleanly over that final jump. So Osgard going to power down to the line, and she takes over the hot seat. Grizz, it's a 2:10.87, half second up on Frida Ronning, and just 2 seconds off that top time from yesterday.
Well, there it is, Will. She didn't care so much about the whole shot today, but she made it count from the middle part of the track all the way to the finish. And you know what? That's where it counts, is at the finish line.
Well, Kaylee Skelton looking to make it count again today, riding for Ari Bicycle. She was our top-seeded rider, had a 4-second margin. Her time was a 2:08 yesterday, so if she can find that kind of pace again today, Grizz, oh, the lines are already coming out.
Oh, yeah, we see it. She went outside out of the gate and is just up to pace. She is bringing the smoke.
Doubles.
I'm loving this intensity I'm seeing out of Kaylee. You can see she's cleared that gap a little bit farther than the previous ladies on the gas through the whole shot.
Oh, look at it. She is up by a second. That is huge. 24.6 there at the top of the track. She's cutting insides on those berms.
Inside, almost a second up at split 1. Kaylee is bringing the smoke, taking that inside line.
Well, she is the woman to beat here. She's a 2-time national champ, won the Tennessee National in 22 and 23. Just picking us apart.
She is looking on fire, Will. I like what I'm seeing out of Kaylee here.
Huge huck. Wow.
This is what I'm talking about. Bring the smoke, Kaylee.
And split number 2. 3 seconds up for Skelton, 139.85. So she's a second faster than she was there yesterday, Grizz.
Wow, I mean, I cannot believe it. We are on a heater here, watching Kaylee Skelton just make quick work of this track, hitting all of her points, smashing all of these corners, and just hucking to flat whenever she can.
Yeah, she's painting the outside edges of this track, drawing her own lines. Couple pedals right there, cleanly over. Just a few more big features on this run left for Skelton. A really big margin at split 2.
Ooh, she is on fire.
Skelton coming here towards the finish. She's
Oh, no!
A massive get off for Skelton. Went about 50 feet there.
Kaylee grizzed it so hard on that finish line jump. And what I mean by that can end a career. Mine ended just like that. Good to see Kaylee up. Oh, she looks like she is wounded.
That's a huge
Great
hit.
to see Kaylee up and standing. That was heinous, Will.
And we've got to go back up and take a look at one of these lines here because Skelton was just pinning it on this run. You can see he's just wide open right there. But, wow, not going to be her day when it comes to the race result, but she'll be fired up for the rest of the season, I'm sure. It's our pro women's podium. Here it is. Aletha Osgard will take the win. Frida Ronning in second. Eris van Leuven in third. And there's our winner, Aletha Osgard. Let's hear from her now.
I'm very honored to be running the red plate. I honestly would rather take the stress of having that than not, but I'm going against some very, very competitive ladies, and I love it. It keeps me very, very accountable on my riding, for sure.
Well, Grizz, the seeding results from yesterday are up, and look at this list. It's the top dogs of USDH, 3 national champions in the field with Nico Mullally, Dakota Norton, and Lucas Shaw, and a former junior world champ in Richie Rude contesting the downhill today.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an exciting day, and regardless of what chit-chat is going on in the pits, the clock never lies, and we are going to find out who's who and what the pecking order is of American Downhill today.
Yeah, you take a look at the top of the list here. Chris Grice, Lucas Shaw, and Austin Thule, your top 3 seeded riders, separated by less than 0.4 of a second, of course, with Austin Thule on top.
And that's right. Austin Dooley's opportunity is right now to establish himself at the top of the pecking order.
He'll be the last man down the hill, but let's get this thing started with our current hot seat run, Ryan Pinkerton. And here's Ryan Pinkerton out of the start gate from Mondraker Factory Racing. Was a DNF yesterday, Grizz. What happened there in seating?
Yeah, he had an unusual mechanical. Apparently a spoke nipple, locked up his rear brakes and unable to complete his run. So he at least broke the timing beam and got into it today.
Scrubbing there on the step up. First rider we're going to see in the men's class, the SR Suntour Holeshot, split number 1, a 21.14. So just a 10th slower than the fastest we saw yesterday, and he's loose already.
Yeah, he's right where he needs to be. He can attack the lower section of this track and maybe make up some of that time. And he's looking really, really smooth. I like his intensity. He's executing out of 10 out of a 10 and just riding that off camber with the aggression it's going to take. Buttery smooth in and out of these corners and carrying really, really good speed, Will.
Yeah, Pinkerton is scrubbing down this steep section. Incredible riding from the young man who put some great performances together on the World Cup last year, the overall champion for the Junior Series.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to do this season, but let's see what he's got at Split 2 here.
Oh, he's up on the fastest split we saw yesterday, so Pinky is on a good one here.
Yeah, he's running. He's doing what he needs to do here, just executing great exit speed out of all these berms, that's what you can expect out of a rider like Pinky.
Oh, straight down the gut right there. Some riders we'll see going wide, setting up for that turn. Real smooth through these corners as well. No pedals, Grizz.
Yeah, I don't know if his coach, Brian Lopes, is going to be happy about that. Lopes was a big pedaler, but Pinky's just laying down a heater right now. I really like what I'm seeing here, Will.
Well, can the SoCal Sorcerer work some magic here at round number 1 of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series? Pinkerton, he's through the line with a 152.15, faster than that fastest seating time at Austin Dooley.
Yeah, like I said, Pinky's right where he needs to be. I don't know if that time is going to hold up, but...
Yeah, it was a good run. Didn't really have a seating run to base it off, so first full run of the weekend. A little loose, but hopefully hold together okay and does good.
Awesome.
Well, it's going to be a tough one to beat, Grizz. Tyler Irvin will be the first of our top 8 to drop in. He put down a 155 yesterday. And he's doing it kind of privateer style this year, but he's definitely got the pedigree.
Yeah, Tyler Irvin is a sleeper. I think we're going to see this kid perform. You know, he's going to do a full privateer campaign on the World Cups. And he told me today earlier he wants to shave a couple seconds off that 155. Let's see what he can do, Will.
Well, that's certainly going to help the cause right there. Butter smooth on that big double. And really low. I mean, we're going to be able to tell riders' speed there by how they attack that jump. Irvin able to squash it because he's carrying so much pace, and it's a 21.42, so he's in touch with Pinkerton split 1.
Yeah, we've been seeing it. You know, these riders are going to be fighting for tenths and hundredths of a second, so whoa, good pace through there. Just, yeah, solid kind of main line over that log right there. Like I said, these riders are not going to deviate lines too much in the final run here.
Well, and Irvin's one that's trying to establish himself in the top of this USDH pecking order. He was 4th place at the Tennessee National, and that's a coveted top 5 to be in.
I'll just touch real quick. Tyler's out of Alpine, California, so he's carrying the torch. There's been a lot of national championships with the Warren brothers out of Alpine, and Tyler is the newest talent. So, you know, and he trains a lot with Dante Silva today, so I'm sure they're going to have a little bit of San Diego rivalry for this weekend.
Yeah, they're right around the same age. Irvin 22 this year. It's a 128.65, so losing a little bit of time to Pinkerton. But, yeah, Pinkerton coming down really early. We typically wouldn't see such a fast run so early in the order. So it's going to be a tall order for someone to knock him off the hot seat. Oh, Big Irv just making that road cap look almost small there.
Swerving Irvin with the steez. Yeah, but, you know, it looks like he just was too casual in the middle section of this track here. Lost a lot of time between split 1 and 2.
What can he do here? It's going to be a 153, so he'll go into 2nd place, but he's 1.6 seconds off that time of Ryan Pinkerton. A little bit of daps there in the finish line, and I think we'll see more from him later this season as we head up to the top for Nico Mullally from Frameworks Racing. Nico put down a 154.2. And, Grizz, how was he feeling going into this run today?
Yeah, Nico says he's feeling great. He's on his home bike park. He's loving the scene that he's helped create. You know, he threw on a fresh set of Continental tires for today, and he's just ready to turn and burn.
Oh, Slick Rick getting real low here over the step up. he wouldn't mind taking home an extra $500 from SR Suntour for the Holeshot Award. Let's see what he can do. He's 3/10 back, but right where he wants to be. He's going to have so many lines up his sleeve as this track just continues to give with technical bits.
And Nico just executing in true Nico form. He is one of the smoothest, naturally buttery smooth downhill riders of all time. He doesn't look like he's going too fast at any point because he's so composed. But he's on rails right now, Will.
Yeah, he's on a comeback season this year after that devastating injury at the beginning of last season. Oh, and
that
Nico,
line to the outside, locals only knowledge right there.
Roost in that turn as well, so that setup working well for Malali. He was 5th at round 1 at Downhill Southeast, and he's just lost a little bit of time to Pinkerton, but he's in 3rd place.
You know, I was talking with Nico earlier in the year. Wow, railing that berm. You know, Nico, with that hip condition that he's recovering from, he's going to be even more buttery than he's ever been, and that's what we're seeing here today.
Yeah, he's twerking some power out of those trees that he calls legs as he comes into this final section. Brand new drop here put in for the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series is Malali. Getting some air there for the fans, and he'll go 3rd. So 1.6 seconds will go back behind Irvin as well as Pinkerton. Looks back to the timing board, and he'll be fired up with that, Grizz, I'm sure.
I think he'll be happy with that.
Speaking of fired up, this guy right here, Dante Silva, raring to go out of Chula Vista, California. He's on that Canyon Collective team. Also part of the Monster Army, 21 years old, really coming into his own.
Yeah, Dante representing Chula Vista, California, another place that I've lived. He's something special. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he is a special rider, very unique style. Oh, kind of pre-compressed the bike right there to soak that lip up, coming through the SR Suntour Holeshot split. And, oh, he's fastest.
He is fastest to split 1. No surprises here. And he's got that SoCal steez just coming through. Look at him just making quick work of all these little bumps and gapping over the tree. All sick.
Yeah, set up perfectly wide. That's a tricky flat corner after that tree, so your setup is crucial. And he's a man that goes really well at this track. Was the bronze medalist here. Oh, and look at the line, Grizz.
Yeah, he's used to the dry. So I feel like he's really comfortable with the dirt here today.
Yep, that bronze medal giving him some confidence from the race last July, and he's still in touch. He's lost time, so he's 0.8 of a second back. But he's also a rider coming up on the World Cup scene, had a top 30 in Mont Saint-Anne last year to finish off his season as he goes deep on the outside of that transfer. Deep again.
Yeah, you know, and I wonder if Dante's going to look at this and go, I lost a little bit of time here and there. That's what he was saying earlier today. Like, these little minor mistakes cost you so much time on this track.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It is a ton to piece together over the span of 3 days, but these guys are the best in the country, some of the best in the world at doing it. He rallies up an ET on the finish line jump, and Silva will go 2nd. So less than a second back on Ryan Pinkerton. That time from Pinkerton was faster than our seating time from Dooley, so it's held up so far. But this man, Dakota Norton, he has something to say about it today, Grizz. How was he feeling, the Mondraker factory rider, getting ready for the race today?
I would say Dak was feeling himself. When I asked him what his goal was today, he just said, Grizz, I'm here to win. I don't go to races for 2nd place. I'm not leaving anything on the table. I'm here to get the gold.
And he's been doing a lot of gold getting and winning the past few seasons, particularly here in the USA. Is he going to snag this SR Suntour Holeshot away from Silva? Yes, he will. It's at 20.7 for Dakota Norton, the 4-time champ of the Tennessee National, fresh off a win, and look at the rhythm he's got.
Yeah, he's really composed, just executing on all of his lines and maximizing pump on all the compressions and not leaving any time on the table, just like he said he wanted to do.
Well, what can high stack Dak conjure up here in these sections? There's definitely some lines available. Pretty main line right there, but he's carrying really great pace. Oh, completely gapping to flat there, blowing that corner up, and he's extended. He's 1.39 up. That's huge on a track like this.
Yeah, he's really made some difference right there in between split 1 and 2. He's on rails. He's doing what he came to do, folks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's keeping it low there. We've seen some riders kind of pull up and try to catch extra backside, but Dakota keeping it nice and tidy. pumping between that shark fin. So he's a man that busted out on the World Cup last year. 2 podiums in 23. He's also the 2-time U.S. national champ, and he's got a score to settle on this track at Rock Creek because he could not defend the title last year. He's come out swinging with another inside, and he's squashing the final jump as Norton powers down to the line. It's going to be fastest 1.8 into the green, a 150.35.
He did it. He's in that 150. This is the time they thought that was going to win. Let's see if anyone can break it now.
Congratulations from his teammate Ryan Pinkerton, who he just bumped off the hot seat. Yeah, Dak does not want to give up the title of fastest man in the U.S., but speaking of fast men in the U.S., Richie Rude is back on a mission to get on the downhill bike. He came to national champs last year here at Rock Creek, and he's back here towing the start line at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. A man who was a silver medalist in the Junior World Championships in 2012 to none other than Loic Bruni, and the champion in 13 when he beat Loris Vergier.
Yeah, you know, he's been such an awesome rider to watch go from the downhill domination that he had into enduro, and he's just a legend of enduro. And he's right there. That's a little out of touch. We're getting deep in the list here. I don't know if he's going to be too happy with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of little places you got to be so precise. Certainly it's going to cross over to some of his enduro racing where he's been at the top of that sport for what seems like the better part of a decade now.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just maintaining good speed, nothing too crazy. I don't think he's out riding what we just saw from Dak, but that Yeti looks like it's working. Oh,
Rude.
No, yard sale. Richie down.
Wow, that burn may never recover from a Richie Rude smash.
That wouldn't be the first feature on a trail that Richie took out of commission.
Well, he's back up to pace, but that's not going to cut it for a top 5 here with the field that we have at Ride Rock Creek. But we've all been so stoked to see Richie back out amongst it at the downhill races.
Yeah, I would love seeing him on a downhill bike. This will be his only downhill race appearance in the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. So he told me he was just using this race and this excuse to race downhill to just ride at a super high intensity level for his upcoming enduro campaign. So he may not be real happy with this run, but it's not the end of the world at the end of the day.
Well, and he certainly made a lot of folks nervous, I'm sure, after that stellar performance in seating. He'll break the beam. He'll go to 8th place, 157.83 for Richie. We wish him the best on his season. But we're into the top 3, Grizz. 3 riders to go to decide who wins the inaugural Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series race. And Chris Grice wants to be that guy. Riding for Generation Specialized, put down a 153 yesterday. And if anybody's got extra time on the track, it's the hometown boy, Chris Grice.
Yeah, Chris is here to, again, win. He really wants to win at his home bike park. But, you know, he told me earlier today he just wants to put in a really good run, make up a little bit of time from yesterday, and just let that ride see where he ends up.
Yeah, and I love watching Grice on track. He's super precise with his riding, and that kind of riding style really pays off here. He's a little bit back there, so he's 4th fastest at split 1, but it's not much of the track, you know, only 21 seconds in.
I think he can still make that up, Will.
Yeah, I would say so. Been watching him all week and just love the way that he's able to link these sections and almost make it ride like a pump track. Sent it pretty big off that bridge, and he's on the outside rut.
Oh, slight. He's going to consider that as a slight mistake right there, that compression and that steep bit.
Yeah, a little bit hectic as Grice sends it deep into that left-hander. Yeah, so he's lost time. He's dropped back to 3rd. But that's still where he wants to be for a podium performance with only 2 riders left to go after him as he anchors up there on the off-camber.
Yeah, you know, Chris is just for these riders, this track is easy to ride, but it is hard to race. And you can see these little mistakes that Chris has made. They've cost him over a second.
Yep. Love to see that gap right there out of the shark fin, though. He's putting together some interesting lines.
And still carrying good pace. And like you said earlier, Will, he rides a downhill track like a pump track. He's so fun to watch.
Well, here he is, Grice, crispy, going deep there over the final jump. Chris Grice breaks the beam. It's a 152, so he will hang on to that 3rd position. So he's sitting pretty. That's going to be a top 5 podium for Chris Grice today.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really happy. That's what he said he came to do.
And the Monster Energy rider for the Canyon Collective is our second to last racer on track, Lucas Shaw. from right down the street in Pisgah Forest, North Carolina, proudly rocking that USA National Championship sleeve that he won right here at Rock Creek in July.
Yeah, and Will looked like he opted for the inside to inside out of the gate there. I don't think we've seen too many riders riding that line.
And you got to wonder if Luca's kind of kept some lines to himself this week, right? He's going to be comfortable here. He knows people are going to be watching him inside off that lip as well. Stayed so low.
Well, like I said, the race line's going to deviate not too much, 4 to 6 inches. But you know what? Luca's got some tricks up his sleeve that I can't wait to see what he's going to do here lower in the track, Will.
Well, he's dancing around the trees here, and he's 5th there at split 1, so almost a half second back from Dakota Norton. You don't want to be spotting a guy like Dakota Norton anytime. Oh, but he looks devastatingly fast there off that bridge. Full commitment into the inside.
That was nasty on that inside. I don't know if he meant to get that little, Scando flick, little back wheel swap out there, but that was nasty.
And he pre-jumps that compression as well.
Let's see if that's going to make up any time for him. But yeah, Luca, too, again, is just buttery smooth. If you're looking for a rider to emulate, this is a perfect guy to try to be like.
Yeah, wasn't able to pull back any time. He lost another half second, but he's still sitting in second place. 1 second back on Dakota Norton. Gaps to the outside like we've seen quite a few riders do. And we'll see what he can pull off here on what they call the diving board.
Yeah, and
couple
again,
pedals.
A couple. So he must have lost a little pace in those corners if he's having to pedal for the diving board. Well, let's see what he's got. He's about to approach the line, and Luca told me earlier he's just taking this race to kind of go through his racecraft and kind of dust off the cobwebs, getting prepped for the World Cup season. So not too much pressure on himself to win today.
Yeah, we're gonna see Shaw powering it down to the finish line in front of the home crowd in North Carolina. He goes second, so it's a 151.51. Didn't really lose much more time from split 2 down. So he's gonna be happy with that performance, and he knows the race for the national glory will happen right here again in July as we look to our final rider. It's Austin Thule, riding for the Monster Army, Commensal Schwalbe, 152.84. He's got to shave 2 seconds off, Grizz. Can he do it?
Well, he said a perfect run would be in the 149 range. I think, and he was the only rider to tell me that it is possible to break 150 today. Let's see if Thule can establish himself at the top of the American downhiller pecking order.
Well, he looks super fast out of that first right-hand berm, gapping out of it, able to find a little bit of backside. Oh, and low and smooth there over that step up and through the corners. Our first timing point. Oh, and he's right there. It's only 800s. He is in touch, Grizz.
He is indeed, Will. And he's, again, just attacking 10 out of 10 on the intensity. And right now, I'm not seeing any mistakes out of Thule.
Yeah, he is a man that is hungry. He was second place behind none other than Dakota Norton at the Tennessee National. So this is an opportunity for him to mix up the top of USDH. Outside line right there, able to handle that compression well.
Oh, clean execution in the steepest bit of the track here from Thule. Nice setup on that. He went a little wide right there and didn't quite explode that corner as hard as Dak, but he got great exit speed.
Oh, he's lost just a smidge more time, but he's in touch. It's a half second back for Thule, so we're going to need to see something special here on a track where he got a silver medal last July for the U.S. National Championships.
Yeah, Thule ripping that berm. That's what I'm talking about. I think he's in touch, Will. It's going to be a nail biter. I'm being honest. My palms are sweaty right now.
And he carried good pace out of that corner and devastating pace to the right-hander. That thing is so choppy, and the bike was fully composed there. Well, there's 2 more corners for Thule to go as he cuts inside there over this finish line jump, winds it up. Austin Thule, our last rider, goes second place. So he's just outside the time, dropped 3 more tenths of a second. Not going to be his day. It's going to be Dakota Norton that takes the win. Grizz, as we go back up and take a look at this slow-mo section.
Yeah, Dak, he just came and delivered and lived to the truth. That 150 and change was the winning time. And just look at the intensity. Look at the locks flowing. I mean, this makes me want to really grow my hair out.
You too can grow up to be Dakota Norton one day, Grizz. As we'll look at our pro men's podium, Dakota Norton standing on top today for the first Monster Energy Pro Downhill race of this season. Austin Thule in second, Lucas Shaw third, Ryan Pinkerton fourth, and look at Chris Grice just soaking up the champagne on the podium in fifth. He just turned 21. Drink it up, my friend.
Let's make some noise, everybody, one more time.
I said after racing nationals last year that I wish I would have came and rode my bike here before going overseas. Luckily this year I've been able to go, went to Lucid for a few weeks, so I've got my bike on a World Cup track. But overall, to push as hard as you have to be successful in such a tight, timed, short race. It's almost like a sprint, it feels like. So the track was great, and being able to push the bike on a rough track, if you have the support to ride here, I think it's really good before you get to the World Cup, so you don't get caught out just being overall too soft. When you're not pushing super hard, it's easy to make the bike comfortable, but you know, when you're racing these dudes, you got to make it fast.
And let's go to our winners of the SR Suntour Holeshot Award here at the opening round of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. Eris van Leuven and Dakota Norton. Eris put down a 25.33 at that top split, and Dakota with a blistering 20.77, netting them both $500 cash, courtesy of SR Suntour.
All right, folks, that's a wrap on the first installment of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. Thank you all for coming out here at Ride Rock Creek. A big thank you to all the athletes that came out here and raced, and a huge congratulations to Dakota and Aletha for their wins in the pro classes.
All right, where's all the racers? Where'd everybody go? I just woke up. Did I miss it? Did I miss the race? Oh, man. Well, don't miss the next one, coming to you at Mountain Creek, race number 2 of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. We'll see you there. How the hell do I get back to shore? How do you steer this thing? Help! 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 Stop trying to sink my battleship. I'm under fire.